Well, the weather is going to make fruit more expensive this summer. The wet and cold spring hit central Washington farmers right when the bees were supposed to be out pollinating the apple and cherry trees.
The weather is going to change a lot this weekend, too. Mike Everett joining us now. It's going to change also where you are. It's not the same for everyone across the state.
That's exactly true, and that's one of the messages we're trying to get out this weekend. Yes, it's going to be fantastic for the most part, but we are tracking some mountain storms, and eastern Washington looks like it's going to have a rough go tomorrow, but western Washington, oh, it's going to be great. We were pretty good today, but despite that, we broke into the low 60s, but still well below average. We missed it by 6 degrees out at SeaTac, and we were 9 degrees below average in the early morning hours, but one of the big parts about today was no rain in the gauges, and that sunset at 8:46 was spectacular. In fact, it's still kind of glowing out there. Just to put it into graphic form for those of you who learn in this method, we will be seeing temperatures that will be exactly where they're supposed to be. 67 is the 30-year average for this time of year. Sunday, we're going to exceed that, and then it's going to slide back below average as we go into Monday and Tuesday, but not as dramatically as it did in April. You may remember we broke into the 70s very briefly at one point in April, and then went right back into that cool and wet pattern afterwards. That will not happen this time. Take a look at the Seattle waterfront, looking pretty great out there. Yep, just catching the last light from that sunset before we descend into darkness. 54 is where we are currently out there. Light breeze coming in from the west. Dew point sitting at 42. Once again, another great look from Painfield and Everett. More blue than anything out there. Just a few clouds off towards the horizon. Take a look back on radar once again. Again, kind of cleaning up what we already had going earlier today. And you notice that most of that activity taking place over top of the mountains or off towards eastern Washington. We did have some storms that fired up over Skagit and Whatcom there, and now just winding down and pushing into the central Cascades there and off towards I-90. Again, it was fairly dramatic out there earlier this afternoon, but that's quieting down once again. Overnight tonight, we're going to see those skies mostly clear, but despite that, we won't be too cool. We'll get into the mid-40s. As we put the future into motion here, a couple things I want to point out. We finish all with those showers overnight tonight. Then as the day starts tomorrow, we get into the afternoon, and basically it's just some simple science here. Still some moisture and a trough that's basically right over top of eastern Washington. So as soon as you put some heat and light on top of that, we are expecting some storms to fire up once again over top of the Cascades, possibly out towards the Olympics as well. And then we could be seeing some pockets of heavy rain, especially over top of Snoqualmie Pass tomorrow afternoon. There could be some thunderstorms there. So if you are headed in that direction, just take that into account. I don't expect any snow up there. Snow levels are way back high again, as you can clearly see, up right around 7,000 feet. But it looks like it could be a rough go for folks heading in the eastern direction. By the time we head into Sunday, though, it looks like all of us are going to catch a break. We'll catch some cloud cover across the mountains, and that's really about it. It's going to be the better of the 2 days this weekend for sure. We go into Monday, and we're back into that pattern again with some spotty showers across the region, but again, not going back into storm central as soon as we get this high pressure out of here. Current temperatures right now are in the upper 40s and mid 50s across the region. Overnight lows will be fairly mellow there as well. We'll touch down in the low 40s. Temperatures across the region tomorrow are going to be in the 50s and 60s, 67 in Seattle. And then as we make our way through the rest of the weekend, we warm that up into the low 70s. Sunday is going to be a great day. Get out and enjoy it immensely. Looks like we go back into a pattern next week that'll be cooler and wetter, but again, more spring-like.